Okay, we got to race through newspapers, 5 minutes to get through them. And of course, we start off with the Mail and Guardian. So the weekly Mail and Guardian, what people want is water, basically. There you go, that's the headline. And the little blurb under the headline saying how the country's crumbling water system could be the deciding factor in the election. So a focus on water in the Mail and Guardian today. Also talking to Mapisa Ngakula, NPA seeks 15-year jail term. Star actor, staunch activist, 100 years of Brando, Marlon Brando, the late Marlon Brando, and an end of an era. Last dance at Kitchener's. So there we go.
Some really interesting stories on the front page of the Business Day this morning. New visa rules simplify attracting foreign skills. Now, a point system will now be replacing the controversial critical skills list, and this will make it easier for skilled people to actually obtain work permits in South Africa. This story, Harmony strikes a historic wages deal. Now, in an historic wage agreement that guarantees mining labour stability, JSE-listed miner Harmony Gold signed a multi-year above-inflation pay deal, giving mine workers raises of as much as 1,500 Rand in 2029. So just to break it down, and this was with all the unions, mine workers will get raises of 1,200 Rand in the first year, 1,250 in the second, 1,300 in the third, 1,450 in the fourth, and 1,500 in the fifth, which is around 6%, which would be around that inflation rate. Quest for service behind property sales, and also private sector at lowest ebb since July 2023. Really interesting stories there.
Right, onto the Star we go. And again, massive picture there of Nosiviwe Mapisa Ngakula. The state's case against me is weak. Mapisa Ngakula released on 50,000 Rand bail, due back in court in June, and another accused to join her in the dock. That's what we heard yesterday. Of course, they go into a lot of detail there. Then VIP protection policy divides the city of Johannesburg, and the council has recently voted in favour of a policy to allow councillors access to VIP protection. So we'll take a look and see what's going on there if you read that article. And then first survey results, Malema and Zuma tie for president in poll. Okay. Results of independent media and IOL's first poll in the run-up to the national and provincial elections shows 75.1% of registered voters in Cape Town, Durban and Johannesburg actually plan to vote on May 29. And the agency announced that they'd commissioned a special agency to work on it. Yeah, interesting findings there where they're saying preferences for the next president, Julius Malema, 21.54%, as well as Jacob Zuma. And then Cyril Ramaphosa, it jumps down to 15.5%, and John Steenhuisen 5.2%. So, yeah, anyway, you want to look at it? Go look at that poll. That's
there are polls everywhere
you look, but there's
so
the latest
interesting
one.
There. All right, moving on to the Citizen this morning. Graft cleanup, a poll stunt. As the ANC turns its back on former Speaker Nosiviwe Mapisa Ngakula, experts say that this would not be happening were it not an election year, and the party did not feel there was an urgent need for it to appear proactive against corruption. And a picture of her in the dock yesterday. Now, Chief's nice guy Fleers is mourned. We've lost a son. A nice guy is how soccer bosses remember him. And March vehicle sales dip, a big blow. High inflation and interest rates take away consumer buying.
Finally, the Sowetan. Again, Mapisa Ngakula gets bail after complaining about the state of South African jails being dangerous for her health and safety in her application. Wow. Okay, former National Assembly Speaker cuts forlorn figure in the dock, a far cry from her days at the helm of the legislature, saying, I am not fit for prison. And yeah, that's the big front page picture. Beyonce, SA's cowboy film inspires Beyonce. Okay, side note, loving the album. They are like my favorite tracks. I know last week this time we were trying to go through it, but I've been listening to it and they are such standouts for me. Lawyer pays RAF claim after 9 years, and pastor cut off my hands, on page 2 of today's Sowetan.
Wow, what interesting stories on the front pages.
The dramas.
I must say, go to SABC's website, www.sabcnews.com. Did I add an extra W?
Maybe, but it doesn't matter. Everybody knows. Don't you worry. Add another one if you want. It'll still get you there. This is your go-to place for news, as well as where you are locked in right now, because your news at 7 is up next.